If you're new and you're just getting into Oxygen Not Included, or you've been playing for a while and just find the mods menu to be a little bit overwhelming, well, guess what? I've got the top 5 mods that will enhance your gameplay here, but without actually changing the way the game is played. The camera in Oxygen Not Included cannot zoom out further than this unless you disable the user interface using Alt and S, and at that point you can zoom out as far as you want. The mod Bigger Camera Zoom Out will disable the restriction of just how far that camera can zoom out. So now, you can zoom all the way out here and view your entire map. And then zoom right down here if you want to move from one location to the other. So as your base gets bigger, you don't have to kind of do this number all day long just to kind of get from one spot to the next. One easy way to do that is just to zoom out, scroll a little bit, and then zoom right back in. That's super handy. An extra tip here is that there is a system in place inside the game that allows you to save and then jump to different camera locations. So if I wanted to set a camera location over here, I would use the keys, Control, and then 1 through 0 will set the camera locations 1 through 10 essentially. So I'm going to use Control 6 to set this location right here. And then if I press Shift 1 through 0, I can jump to different camera locations. So for example, Shift 1 takes me down here to my sour gas boiler, where I have many different natural gas generators up and running. But if I wanted to jump back to that previous location, I just choose Shift plus 6, and I go right back over here. When you combine the system with the mod, you can save locations that are actually zoomed out much further than normal, like this. There we have the overall view of my map. The default oxygen overlay is okay. It shows you where the breathable oxygen is, and then it also shows you where your duplicates will suffocate. But it doesn't necessarily define what type of gas is where unless you mouse over it. There's a second overlay in the materials, and you have to click down here to gas, and at this point you can see what different types of gases are in what area. So you can see here we have some sour gas, chlorine, carbon dioxide, and then oxygen. But it doesn't give you an idea of just how much of it is in each location. The mod Gas Overlay adjusts how the oxygen overlay works, and it combines the two together so that you can understand where oxygen is, and you can also see the other type of gases as well. And depending on just how dark the gas is or how pronounced that color is, that gives you an idea of just how much quantity there is in that location. So this really is, in my opinion, the best of both worlds, and it looks fantastic. So right here you can see that I have lots of oxygen. We have a little bit of sour gas there, some ethanol, steam. You can see what hydrogen looks like. It's that light pink. And an area where I have much more hydrogen right down here. You can see it's 20 kilograms as compared to just 2 kilograms right there. Super useful. And I love how it kind of fades in and out. This is just a really great overlay. When we go to build equipment inside of Oxygen Not Included, we end up using a lot of ladders, or I like to call it scaffolding, in order to get your dupes to where they need to go to build the stuff as needed. Unfortunately, getting rid of these ladders is worse than having your teeth pulled. And unfortunately, that's because your duplicates have very short arms. They simply cannot reach very far, and they also don't understand the priority of how to deconstruct something like a ladder. You see, Grumpy here just deconstructed too, decided to jump over an impossible gap because, yeah, I'm recording a video. And now, how did this happen? Okay, just for the record, your dupe should not be able to jump over a 2-tile gap. Grumpy is just a very special duplicant who seems to be able to do things other duplicants cannot. Are you going to do it again, Grumpy? No, see? You can't. Matter of fact, you can't move over there right now. You've now trapped yourself in this location. The mod Chained Deconstruction solves this by allowing you to deconstruct all these different ladders at the exact same time. So this works with ladders, it works with transit tubes, and fire poles. So check this out. Last time we ended up with a few of these over here. Boom. Everything's deconstructed. How about that? So if you set this to buildings and then you just go like that, boom, just like that, boom. Maybe you want to get rid of all of this right down here. For whatever reason, you can go ahead and do that. We can get rid of these little pieces right there and that bit right there. So in this example here, we're going to deconstruct all of that. A little piece of ladder right there gets deconstructed, but since it's not connected to the rest of these, it doesn't propagate. Whereas that one did not. And this one down here should do everything else except for that piece right over there. Very handy mod. When you go to plan equipment out, there's one big limitation that drives me nuts, and that is that I cannot plan equipment if I don't have enough material on hand to build it. So in this example, I want to put a thermal aqua tuner in this box right down here underneath the steam turbine. But I want to make that out of thermium, but unfortunately, I don't have enough thermium on hand. The mod Planned Buildings Without Materials will allow you to get around this restriction. So in this case, I can say that I want my thermal aqua tuner made of thermium, and I want it right here as soon as I get enough materials. This is a very handy mod for those of us that like to plan things out well in advance. Now, keeping with the theme of planning things out in advance, let's say we already have a known way of how we want to make something. Like in this case right here, I'm using this system to liquefy oxygen for my rockets. And I use the exact same system to liquefy hydrogen, again, for rockets. Now when it comes to planning things out, copying your plan has always been a real pain point in Oxygen Not Included. The best that we can do is click on a piece of equipment and press the B key down here, and that allows us to copy that piece of equipment and the type of material it is, and then we can place it over here like that. Wouldn't it be nice if we could actually just copy everything in this area and then paste the plan into another location? Luckily, there's a new mod out called Blueprints that allows us to do just that. So right down here, I can say create a blueprint. I will copy this up over here. And then let's say I want to place this exact same arrangement over here on the left. Boom! Just like that, the plan and all my hard work has been duplicated. In the current version of this mod, the ability to copy and paste everything here works. Now the hope here is that in the future we'll actually be able to cycle through several different blueprints. You can see it right down here, the instructions. The current blueprint is the cached one, and then you can cycle through others that have been saved up. These blueprints are saved on your hard drive under your documents, Clay, Oxygen Not Included, Blueprints. To find the mods folder, just go up to Oxygen Not Included, go into mods, and that's where the stuff is that comes in from Steam. There it is, right there. To make sure your mods are enabled, go ahead and click on the mods tab over here, and you get a full list of all of the stuff that you're subscribed to. Make sure you have the little check mark here, and the game will ask you to restart, and that's all there is to it. And that's where I click it, and it does its restart thing. If you have a problem where you constantly need to reload the game at the very beginning because it says something is updated, you can go ahead and delete the mods.json file right here, and then just start up the game and it'll reset all of the mods and you're good to go. So there you have it, 5 mods that will hopefully enhance your Oxygen Not Included experience. You can find a link to the mods in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again next time. Stay awesome, guys. Peace. Brothgar out.